With it or quit it. With it, quit it.
What?
With it.
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right, what am I winning or quitting today?
Years ago, people hated LeBron in Miami for his dominance.
Sure did.
Then the Warriors for their dominance. But after KD followed Kyrie to Brooklyn, Steph won't have Klay until February, and Kawhi and his fan club just moved to the Clippers, the NBA is finally balanced, but somebody has to be irrationally hated. Joy, the NBA's newest villain will be the Los Angeles Lakers. With it or quit it.
I'm going to have to quit it because I just don't know that they're hateable. And villains, you hate villains. And that said, the way that you set that up, really, I mean, Kawhi is Thanos. He brought balance to the NBA.
One
with
little
the snap of his very ginormous hands.
Yeah.
He
claws, if you will.
completely equalized everything across the NBA landscape, and now we are walking through whatever that weird Space Valley thing that Thanos was in. You know, the world has peace, and we're trying to remember what it was like before that. That's literally the space we're living in. Because look,
I feel you.
think of all of the teams that you could hate last year. I mean, you could hate the Lakers, you could hate the Celtics. You know, I mean, nobody's gonna hate the Raptors, but you know, I mean, you could even hate Westbrook. And the Thunder, like
the Warriors,
certainly the Rockets,
the Warriors, all day long.
I mean, now I'm kind of talking myself. No, the Rockets aren't good enough to be villains.
The Rockets aren't relevant enough to be hated.
That's what I'm saying. There's no villain. Like Thanos, Kawhi is Thanos, and he's also just undefeatable. Like what he's done can't be undone. There is no. Everyone's seen it, right? I don't care. There is no Iron Man to save the situation. It just doesn't exist.
Shouts out to Spider-Man.
Oh, at this point, I
Black
hope
Captain America.
I ruined it for you because
oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
I can't wait. Please say spoil or alert in this.
Oh my god,
the nerve.
I can't. Anyway,
it's supposed to be on HBO.
There, I think it actually might still be in theaters. Like it low-key might still be in some theaters.
Okay,
because people really love that movie. Anyway.
In games.
Yeah. The point is, there's no villain. Like LeBron is LeBron and AD are the closest thing to it, and I just don't find them hateable unless you just happen to hate LeBron. That's not who I'm talking about here. Like when you mention teams like the Heat people hated the Heat. Like they hated the Heat so much they made it seem like Miami was a bad place to live. Like it was laughable. We'd be down there like, what are you talking about? We literally live in paradise. There's topless beaches. You can go across the street and order a delicious margarita and walk anywhere around this place with it.
Best Cuban sandwiches you ever
wonderful.
Very
Cuban
hot
sandwiches.
though. Very humid.
It's very wow. It's so hot. This beautiful ocean and pools everywhere you look. Okay. Please, just messing with it. I understand if you don't like a little bit of humidity, but let's stop acting like Miami is hell on earth.
Okay.
That's how much people hated LeBron and the Heat that they convinced themselves Miami was a horrible place.
Okay.
That's an absurd thing.
Yeah,
okay,
true
like just stop and think about it for a second. It's a little bit extra. The point is, there's no comparison to the level of hate that the Miami Heat got, and there's not going to be any comparison to the way that people hated and root against the Warriors. Like people were actively rooting for any team who had a possible chance to beat the Warriors, and not even because they were really hateable. It was really hateable about them when KD went. Like So KD was tired of people saying that he's not as good as LeBron because he didn't have a championship. And as it turns out, they actually needed him to win the championships because we saw what happened when he was injured. They lost to the Raptors, who by all accounts were the least talented team in that situation, and they had one guy in Kawhi. One proven guy in Kawhi against the mighty Warriors. And KD's out and the Raptors are champions. So KD proved that he was necessary there. So when you really look back on it, like, what were you really hating? KD was necessary there.
Yeah. And Kawhi can't be hated either because, I mean, even for Spurs fans, they got the redemption they wanted against the Warriors via Kawhi at the Raptors. And with him leaving, too, Kawhi did not want to be with Spurs. He wanted to be with the Clippers. He's there now. In the meantime, he won a championship with the Raptors.
And, I mean, there was a moment there where you probably felt like he might stay with the Raptors, but there's no feelings of animosity from anyone that he left the Raptors. No, it's not like how it was when LeBron left Cleveland and everyone was like, how could you ever leave Cleveland?
Right. It's Cleveland.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
That's what you're going with, right? Like, why on earth would you want to do that? There's nothing going on like that. And the Raptors couldn't be more classy about how they're handling his exit, because it would be laughable for them to be angry at him. So this is my only issue with what's happened. I need a bad guy, okay? I do, because I root for the bad guy most of the time. Yes. And I need to know who are we all against so that I can be with them. And for the overall storyline of the NBA, it's going to be interesting, because I don't see anybody, when I look back, I don't see anybody that sticks out like, man, everyone is going to be rooting for them to fail. It's part of our DNA. It's what we do.
Yeah, no. People want Steph to win now a little bit. Like,
and honestly, the Warriors are the sleeper in all this. They're in the best position ever. They could not be in a better position.
How? What you mean?
No expectations. Nobody's talking about the Warriors.
Yeah, it's true.
Nobody expects them to win.
And they'll still be one of those 8 seeds. Then we'll have to deal with them in the playoffs.
Oh, no, they will be in the playoffs. They will be in the playoffs.
That's
and
weird.
they've got D'Angelo Russell. Like, it's an interesting landscape now.
Yeah.
Kawhi is Thanos. What's next?
The NBA went from the Justice League running-ish to a league full of Batmans and Robins. There's Bron and AD, Kyrie and KD, Kawhi and PG-13, Steph and Clay, Dame and CJ, Joel and Ben. The list of great duos goes on and on. Joy, LeBron and AD are going to be the best duo in the NBA. With it or quit it. I'm
going to quit that.
You're quitting
but
things today.
This also, through Kawhi Thanosing the NBA, he eliminated the super teams.
Right.
And now you got to pick. You got to pick your team, and it's going to be 2 guys, and there's a lot of them. I mean, just the ones you mentioned. Then you've got LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan, which everyone always forgets because it's, quite frankly, the Spurs. Yeah. No disrespect, but that's what they do.
And the Spurs don't do duos; they do duo team stuff.
They do. They're very much a team. Yeah, they do team things. They would push back on that, on being a part of the duo. They'd want to be the outlier.
They should.
Yeah. Jokic and Jamal Murray, James Harden, Chris Paul, which may end up being James Harden and Westbrook, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Victor Oladipo, Malcolm Brogdon, Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum. Like, it's hard to pick, but I am going with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I got to go with Kawhi because he's Finals MVP. He's Kawhi. He carried the Raptors to that championship, and he's just coming in with the most momentum, period. And Paul George showed his value last year. Yeah. He was in the MVP conversation last year. He was
with Russell Westbrook on his team.
3rd place in Defensive Player of the Year voting. They're going to be incredible on defense, and they're both great scorers. Yeah. And it's not a discredit to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but look, I keep saying it. LeBron is coming off his first major injury. I'm sure he's going to come back in perfect health.
Right.
It's LeBron. He takes excellent care of his body. But I don't know what I'm going to see from the 2 of them. And who knows what's going to happen with Kuzma? What if Kuzma takes a major step up? We know how LeBron is with bigs.
Shooting year last year.
Like, things could rotate in that lineup. Things could look differently. So I'm not saying that LeBron is no longer a great player. Of course he is. For some reason, Lakers fans think I hate the Lakers, which is so weird to me.
They think that your hate for LeBron trickles over to...
I don't hate LeBron. I don't hate LeBron. I told you, I surrendered my hatred for LeBron when he came to the Lakers. As soon as he left Cleveland, I could shed myself of my hatred for him leaving Miami, which I have. I have no hate for LeBron whatsoever. I would like to see him win a championship while he's here in Los Angeles. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. If I'm being frank, I really don't. I don't see it. Like, I'm not wishing against that. I think it'd be an amazing story. It would be the ultimate Hollywood story for everything in the chaos and insanity that the Lakers were last year, the absolute disaster, to then turn it around and win a championship within the next 2 years would be an incredible story and a magnificent ending to the career that LeBron James has had.
This is what LeBron James is. His whole narrative has been storybook from the beginning. All of these things. Bringing a championship to Cleveland even is the impossible is possible with LeBron, and that's why he has followers that will follow him and have the faith in him through this 17 game groin injury.
Because I really think that doing this is going to be like walking on water.
It's not that bad. Now,
you were leading me to that dramatic ending.
I looked at these are the duos in their current points per game together. Paul George and Kawhi are leading 54.6 points. Right. LeBron James, AD right behind 53.3 points. James Harden, Clint Capella actually 52.7 points. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving 49.8. But what I'm trying to say is, though, LeBron James as a point guard, I think LeBron James's biggest goal this season is going to be getting KD to win the MVP. Like, he's going to try to get one of his teammates to win. Oh, shit. I can't do this. Let's time the whole thing. I quit. No, but you know what I'm saying? He's going to try to, and that's dangerous. Who knows what LeBron James can do? Named a point guard. He's always actually been a point guard, but him actually having the ball in his hands.
It's going to be very interesting. I'm going with the obvious pick in this spot because we're going off paper right now, and that's what I think. But it's going to be interesting to see. And this is why I keep talking about Kevin Durant. Like, Kevin Durant is in the Kawhi seat right now because he's going to be gone for a year. He's going to be out of sight, out of mind. Everyone's going to have revisionist history on how good really was he when he was available. I feel like we need to examine it. We went through the whole thing with Kawhi, and Kawhi is not going to be the same player, and why did he leave the Spurs? And he proved everyone wrong. And that's exactly what Kevin Durant is going to do. I really think everyone is underestimating that situation in Brooklyn.
When he's available.
When he's available, which is a while from now.